of leadership experience and 18 years of specialization in clinical exercise and post-injury rehabilitation. So needless to say, you are in very good hands. If you're feeling a little stiffness, a little injury maybe, he's gonna hook you up, all right? So Andre is gonna be leading you through a muscle imbalance test with some great takeaway tips for you, okay? If you guys can welcome to the stage Andre. Would you please put your hands together for a man?
Good afternoon, everyone. Let's just put your hands in the air for a minute. I just want to do a quick assessment of everyone. Got hands up in the air? Excellent, you've all failed. Failed what? Well, here at InfoFit Educators, we're a school for fitness professionals as well as personal training service or studio. And one of the things we see are people who come in with a lot of neck pain, back pain, and complain of headaches. How many of you have experienced neck pain, back pain, or headaches? Excellent. Okay, thank you. That's quite a few people in the room. So what I wanted to do with you today was give you some insight on some of the variables that may be contributing to neck pain, back pain, or headaches. And what we're going to do is a couple of tests to help you determine for yourself. Now these tests are simple. They can be done easily by yourself. They can be done, you can use them to work on your family or friends to help them assess their headache or back pain potential or risk. So what I want to do is I want to get you first to welcome my beautiful and sexy role model. I'll give a welcome to Alex. Now, as you can see, I've chosen Alex specifically for his personality. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is everyone stand up, please. All right, so for our first test, what I'd like you to do is I want to give you an idea of how headaches occur, all right, and what goes on with that. So I want you to interlock your fingers like so. Just put the camera down. So interlock your fingers like so. Good, now place it on the back of your neck. So you're not on your head, but on the back of your neck. And then what I want you to do is look down and bring your elbows forward. Now, keeping your elbows forward and down, now I want you to look up. And I want you to feel, just keeping your elbows down, I want you to feel how your fingers are getting crushed back there. Good, how many of you felt your fingers getting crushed back there? Okay, so what I want you to know is when we sit, a lot. We're driving or we're at desks a lot. When we sit, our shoulders drop. Gravity pulls us down. And what we want to do is lift our head up. And what that does is it compresses the vertebrae in the back of the neck and it causes the muscles in the back of the neck to remain tense. So a real quick exercise that you can do at work to release some of the tension that builds up over the course of the day are called neck retractions. So let's just use Alex here to show a neck retraction. So the first thing is, most of us will start to poke our head forward like so. So all I want you to do is just poke your head forward. Good, and with a Bulgarian accent, say, no, never do. Never do. Good, so what we want to do is draw our chin back. Then we want to stretch the back of the neck, so we keep our chin drawn back, and we drop our head down like so. Now, for those of you who have good range of motion, you just take one hand, put it on the back of your neck, and draw it down some more. Now, the ticket here, the key point, is the chin must be retracted in and then down. How many of you felt that stretch in the back of your neck? Great. Whenever you are sitting for long periods of time, 45 minutes, an hour or more, it's really good to spend 5 to 25 seconds just doing a couple of neck retractions, chin in and head down, okay? Let's go to the next test. The next test is all about whether or not you can touch your fingers together behind your back. So we're going to get Alex to do one side, use your good side, and this is what we're looking for. So you may need to pair up to help each other see this for themselves, but this would be excellent. Can you grip your fingers together like so? Good would be when the fingertips touch together like so, and poor would be when the fingertips are not touching at all. All right? So now, try that on your other arm. Let's see how Alex does here. switching through. So Alex doesn't get his fingertips to touch. He's 2 fingers away. So Alex needs some work. So how many of you got your fingertips to touch? All right. And how many of you need some work on your shoulders? Great. Okay, so let's have a look at an exercise that we can do that helps open up your shoulders. If you do not open up your shoulders over time, they will just get tighter and tighter. And what we want to do is offset the aging variable here of our shoulders rounding in forward and adding more to our back pain and neck pain. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a towel. So you're going to use a towel. If you don't have a towel, use your t-shirt. Good. You're going to turn around. Raise your towel up. Your hands are facing forward of you. Then you're going to drop one arm back, behind your back, and then pull up with the towel. And then you're just going to drop it down and anchor it. And this will be a nice stretch. One of the things that happens when people do this stretch is they roll their shoulder forward. So what you want to do is try to get your shoulder blade to come back and down as you do that. Good? And now try it on the other side. Switch that over. So this is called the scratch test and the behind the back towel stretch. Excellent. Good. So this next test, I want you to put your arms above your head. Good. And I want you to reach as high as you possibly can. Good. Now the idea is you want to get your biceps by your ears. And to do this test, you're going to be laying down on your mat. So I want you to lay down on your mat and do that same test. Alex, just lay down. Bend your knees. Now you're going to need a partner who's going to tell you whether or not you need some work here. So you're just going to use someone next to you to tell you if your arms are completely straight or they're bending. So this is the test. Arms are above towards the ceiling, just like so. Watch me first. Lower your arms all the way down. Your lower back must be pressed into the floor. And then while you are there, you are going to just relax. And what you're looking for is exactly what Alex is demonstrating here. His arms are completely straight. There's no stress on his shoulders whatsoever, and his neck is in neutral alignment. So just have a look to one of your partners and help them out to let them see, to tell them if they have an elbow bend. Needing work is when your elbows bend and your arms come off the floor like so. All right, so how many of you have elbows bending and you're finding you're struggling just a little through that? Okay, so a good stretch for this, you've done it in yoga already, and it's called the child's pose, as well as a downward dog. So we're just going to, on the mat, Alex, get down onto your knees. You're in your knee position, and your hands are in front, further in front, and I don't want it to sink all the way back, so I want you to move your arms forward. Good. So your butt is in the air. And what I want you to do is try to drop down through your shoulders and relax your forehead onto the mat. The muscle that we're trying to stretch here mostly would be the latissimus dorsi, the lat muscle. And so what happens is, over the course of time when we're sitting, that muscle gets really tight and starts to roll your arms inward. And so it stops you from being able to keep getting your arms overhead. And if you can't get your arms overhead and biceps by the ears, and you continue to go that way, gravity will continue to pull you down, and you will gradually lose that range of motion. And that's not necessary. That's not a normal part of aging. The reason why so many people lose the range of motion while aging is simply because they aren't exposing their joints to range of motion and stretching it out. So with that, you can get a really good stretch. The last exercise I want to show you is a hamstring stretch. So lay on your back, Alex. This is the last one we're going to do. One leg is straight out, so just straighten out your left leg. Bring your right knee up to the ceiling like so. So the foot is slightly off the floor. Good. And your test is simply going to be this. Look at your thigh. Your thigh needs to be pointing straight up to the ceiling, so knee straight up to the ceiling. And what you want to do is now straighten your leg up towards the ceiling. Now, if you can get to 90 degrees without this other bottom leg coming up off, if you can get to 90 degrees with your knee straight, you have good range of motion in your knee and you have good extensibility in your hamstrings. If, however, your knee to get it straight has to drop down, your leg has to drop down a bit, then you're going to be a little tight in your hamstrings. Good? So a good hamstring stretch for this is you grab hold, you bend your knee, you grab hold of the back of your thigh like so, and then holding it into that position, you slowly start to try to straighten it up. This is called an active stretch, where you're actively contracting your quadriceps muscles to put a stretch on your hamstring muscle. Excellent. Now switch over and see how you are on the other leg. Oftentimes you will find that one muscle group is a little bit tighter than the other. So draw the knee to the ceiling, straighten up right to the ceiling. And good. Now put a nice stretch in there, pull the knee in, and up you go just a little further. Good. And then back down. Now you can sit up, Alex. Now they've only given me 15 minutes to show you these. One of the things InfoFit Educators is offering is a pain, posture, function analysis, and we're giving that away. And it's a 1.5 hour series of tests that go from head all the way down to feet, show you where your muscle imbalances are, show you where your muscles are functioning incorrectly or are dysfunctional. And with that test, we give you some great corrective exercises that help rebalance your body, take away a lot of the pain that you may be experiencing because of these imbalances. I want to thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to speak to you. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Thank you, our wonderful model, Alex. Thank you.
Let's hear for Alex and Andre. Woo! You guys feeling more muscly aware now? Feeling good, strong, and secure? All right. So you guys ready to get into another work?